You know, in the world of real estate, when a leader changes, it's way more than just a new name on an office door. It's a signal, right? It tells you exactly where a company is placing its bets for the future. And today, we're looking at a huge reshuffling of the deck and what that really means for the entire industry.
All right, let's get right into it. We're going to break down three different stories here. We've got a big tech promotion at Compass, a major leadership transition at Engel Völkers, and a really strategic board appointment at CoStar. Now, each move tells its own unique story, but when you put them all together, they paint this fascinating picture of an industry that's, well, it's changing fast. So first up, Compass. And get this, their massive bet isn't on hiring more agents or opening bigger offices. Nope, it's on the one thing that holds their entire model together, the technology that connects every single person in their network. And the person leading this charge? Shay Artzi. Now, what's really interesting here is just how fast he's risen through the ranks. I mean, look at this timeline. From senior director to chief technology officer in just about 3 years. That's lightning fast. So this isn't just a promotion, it's a huge statement. It shows that Compass truly believes the key to its future is all about engineering and tech, and they're betting that Artsy is the person to get them there. And the challenge he's walking into, it is absolutely monumental. We are talking about unifying 340,000, that's 340,000 real estate professionals onto a single tech platform. And a lot of those folks are coming from that recent acquisition of Anywhere Real Estate. So think about it, this isn't just a simple software update, this is a colossal integration project. And frankly, its success could define the company's entire next decade.
And Compass CEO Robert Reffkin's own words here really they sealed the deal. The focus, he says, is on empowering agents with technology to grow their businesses. So here's the key takeaway, right? For Compass, technology isn't just some back-end system. It is the core product they offer to their agents. Artsy's promotion, it's a direct reflection of that exact strategy. Okay, let's shift gears. Our second story paints a really different picture. Over at Engel Völkers Florida, this leadership change isn't about tackling some new challenge. It's actually about closing a chapter. A chapter of just incredible, explosive success. So Peter Giese is stepping down as CEO, and you can really see the whole story here. On one hand, you have what he built, this incredible chapter, right? We're talking exponential growth, expanding to 51 shops, and somehow outpacing huge markets like California and Texas combined. That's amazing. And then on the other side, you have his take on it all. Just gratitude for the journey and a real energy for his next adventure. See, this isn't some dramatic shakeup. It's just the natural, really successful evolution of a leadership cycle. And that brings us to our third and final story, CoStar. Now, this move is less about celebrating past success and a lot more about shoring up the future. It's a super strategic, calculated response to some outside pressure, with a laser focus on two things, governance and data. So you gotta ask the big question, why is CoStar doing this? And why right now? I mean, CoStar's already a data powerhouse, right? So this kind of appointment, it isn't just business as usual. There's definitely a deeper story driving this decision. And here's the context you need. The company's been facing a little bit of heat from investors lately. So this move, it's smart. It does two things at once. First, it seriously strengthens their board's independence. Now, 8 out of 9 members are independent, which is a direct answer to those governance concerns. And second, it injects some very specific, very high-level expertise right where they need it most, in AI and data. And the person they chose is Nana Banerjee. Just a quick look at his resume here tells you exactly why he's the perfect fit. This guy has led global tech and data businesses like Pelmorex, McGraw-Hill, Verisk. I mean, his entire career is basically a roadmap to where CoStar's headed. Super sophisticated, data-driven, AI-powered analytics. And you don't have to take my word for it. CoStar's founder, Andy Florance, confirms it right here. He calls Banerjee an expert in centralized data, AI, and advanced analytics. I mean, the signal just could not be any clearer. CoStar is doubling down on its identity as a data company, while at the same time tackling those investor concerns head-on. All right, so we've seen 3 different companies make 3 very different leadership moves. But what happens when we start connecting the dots? What does all this really tell us about where the real estate industry is going? Okay, here's the big picture, all laid out. Compass's move, it signals that the future is all about tech integration on a massive scale. Engel Völkers transition, that shows us that big success isn't an endpoint, it's actually a launchpad for the next phase of growth. In CoStar's appointment, well, that reveals that as these companies get bigger and more mature, pressure from investors is going to increasingly shape their corporate governance and force them to sharpen their focus on core strengths, like data.
And that leaves us with one final, really fascinating question. In this shifting market, which of these strategies is ultimately going to win? Is it going to be the brute force of tech integration, the powerful momentum from explosive growth, or that disciplined, sharp focus of data-driven governance? The moves these companies are making right now, those are their answers, and only time will tell which bet truly pays off.